A large portion of the state's Arab American population isn't happy with Harris over the administration's continued support for Israel in its war against Hamas in Gaza. When you're talking to those voters, what do you say to that constituency?
We talk a lot about the truth of who Donald Trump is. We use his own words a lot of the time to remind folks of the things he said about immigrants, the things he said specifically about Muslims, the things he said about how he would encourage Netanyahu to double and triple down on the work that he's already, the hateful work that he's already doing in the region. Just to let them know that while you may not be happy with where the Biden administration is, and you may not yet be comfortable with where a Harris administration would be, either of those are much better for this community and for the world than Donald Trump.
As you know, all eyes really are on Michigan as one of those 7 critical states that we're going to be really looking at on November 5th. So is there anything happening on the ground? I know you said that there's a difference between what's happening on the ground. You're not looking at the polls. But is there anything that you would want the Harris campaign to really hammer home in the final stretch here?
I think that you asked the question about the economy. I think the conversations need to continue about how a Harris administration would handle the economy. Obviously, the issue around Gaza for members of our coalition are important as well. I think that folks still need to get to know who Kamala Harris is in some instances and what she will do. I think the work she's done to do the television interviews, the town hall that she just had, tremendously helpful in telling that story of who she is and what she will do. And of course, we've got to have people continuing to come to visit. The vice president will be here again in a couple of days. The Governor Walz will be here. His wife will be here. Her husband will be here. All sorts of surrogates, including President Obama, have been here and will continue to be here. And we need to continue that drumbeat of folks coming into the state and reminding folks how important their vote is and how important this state is to the election.
That's really interesting that you're saying you have to remind people of who Kamala Harris is. So when people ask you, who is the vice president, what do you say? Because she's been the vice president for 3 years. We've been seeing her make the media rounds. However, she's only been candidate now for, as you said, a little over 90 days. So how would you define the vice president? How would you define her candidacy?
We spend a lot of time talking about her story, who she is, how she's come up from a middle-class family, how she has, been a prosecutor, and all of the good work that she's done for first the people of California and then the people of the nation, and that she's been a true partner in the work that has happened in the White House, and that she's learned the job at the hands of the current president, and she knows what she's getting into. It won't be a surprise to her, and that she's got all of the skills, all of the knowledge, and all of the temperament to handle this job in a way that will make us safe and strong and a healthy economy.